To the weekly reset stream that we of course do here every Thursday, because every Thursday something is happening in Assassin's Creed Shadows while we wait for the actual big things to happen. So thanks always for everyone who joins every week. Appreciate you a lot. We're gonna look at the exchange. We're gonna look at everything while my game is still loading. We're going in. We're going in. So we have kind of an issue. We've kind of an issue. I'm gonna tell you about it. It's yeah, it's not really an issue for you. Well, maybe a bit, but it's mostly an issue for us here at the team and the potential Shadows updates that we have. Let's see. As you can see, it's been I've not booted up the game since last week, I think. Because yeah, there's not a lot happening, which is fine, but that's why we likely have to play in the dark. Yeah, thanks everyone for joining. The issue is there's still no update added to the database for Shadows. Oh no, there's another issue, that there's no room on my freaking PS5. So I'm gonna quickly go to storage. I don't think I can show you everything, so that's why I'm gonna remove the screen for a bit. And then of course we're gonna look at the exchange and all that good stuff. I have like 500 gigs of Assassin's Creed Shadows footage. Oh my god. That's crazy. But yeah, I can remove some things, so let's do that, and then we can quickly go back and record things, you know. Okay, we're back. So with them not adding a new an update to the database, of course we always love PlayStation game size for reporting on that. And well, he has not shared anything yet. So that means that the update won't be next week. We were first at a 3-week schedule, we were then at a 4-week schedule, and now we seem to be at a 5-week schedule, which is fine. Let them prepare the good stuff if they have some good stuff. We don't know what the next update has either, because we learned until June, it's now July. The problem is that on July 29th, when the update is likely gonna drop, unless they do a 6-week schedule, that is the week that we are all on a holiday. It's like July, it's sunny, it's summer, we're all gone. So I really hope that that update is either very small or nothing is happening, and that when we come back the week after, we can all focus on making content for you. But it is possible that they drop the biggest update for Shadows ever, and I don't know what it could entail. Of course, we know about some big things that are coming, new Animus projects, the DLC, of course. Yeah, no, I do think they would give like more hype for the DLC beforehand. But yeah, maybe New Game Plus or another crossover or something like that. That we will not be able to cover that the week it comes out. That hurts as a creator. That you're like, back in the day, I used to bring my laptop to my vacations for stuff like that. I'm not doing that anymore. But yeah, either way, just wanted to tell you that. Hopefully we can prepare some things. That would be great. So we can still have some content out. But of course, I will do my best to keep you up to date. But it might be a few days later. We always want to be on the day it comes out. But yeah, it's summer. You know how it goes. But yeah, the weekly selection, we have it here. It's a rehash of we've seen all these things before. This weapon, I think this might be, and sometimes it's Yasuke, sometimes it's Nawe, but we've seen this weapon 10 times, I think, across both Nawe and Yasuke. I remember talking about this sickle recently as well. So the Hato Tanto, I think maybe was when Joyce was taking over. I remember that too. But I'm not sure. Either way, this one is very good. And this mount, we had that one once before. I even still have that mount because I was showcasing it the other, like a few days ago or a few weeks ago. So yeah, it's a rehash. But yeah, I have a feeling, even though right now, of course, there's nothing going on, there will be cool stuff happening, of course. We had the rumor that the DLC September is in September. That's close. That's 2 months from now or something. So that would be awesome. But it's dark. Let's do the Hato Tanto combo with a smoke bomb build. But yeah, I still have the sickle equipped. I can like quickly show you that. So this is the mount. I of course always want to show you these items, even so if you maybe missed it once. This is the sickle. It's very bad though. You get like more damage when you're surrounded by more enemies, but you don't really notice it. Of course, damage increases. Oh, I'm breaking all the bamboo. Yeah. Damage increases on Naue are way less significant than Yasuke because of course his numbers are higher. And the Hato Tanto, it's all Naue, by the way, now that I think of it. I think if I go to the smoke bomb build here, I already have it equipped. This one is really, really good. Using a smoke bomb after a weak point attack, and weak point attacks make enemies vulnerable a second time. Yeah, put that on it as well. So if you for whatever reason did not get the Hato Tanto yet, totally do it. Let's see what the objectives are this week. So we gotta wait 2 months. This is crap. Oh yeah. But again, there might be in that July update. We don't know what it has. I saw this. From our lovely poster Severus. So let's do this. Can I like quickly? I think I can, right? Ooh, do it like this. I'm quickly gonna show you the missions: Mine Echoes, Purged, Corrupt Entity, Purge, Corrupt. Oh, it's gonna be an easy one. I like that. That's nice. No arena anymore. They've not done the arena for some time now. Let's do this. Here we see New Game Plus release timeline for recent Assassin's Creed games. Origins 4 months after launch. Odyssey 4.5 months after launch. Valhalla, no New Game Plus. RIP. Mirage, 2 months after launch. They were fast. Shadows, New Game Plus in July, which would be... it came out in March. So that would be April, May, June, July, 4. So that would be 4.5 months too. Similar to Odyssey, same developers. Of course, I would argue that the New Game Plus mode in Shadows is a bit more complicated with the hideout and some other things, but we will see. I do think you have to like rebuild your hideout, namely. But yeah, I think this is not a weird prediction, but we don't know for sure, of course. I will keep you posted. Look, I'm gonna be honest. If I'm like very selfish here, I hope they don't launch New Game Plus when I'm not here. But we cannot stop them from doing that. We will see. We're gonna mine some echoes. Thanks, Valor. Appreciate you always joining in. Yeah, that's even though I know the game is like it's the. I remember doing these weekly reset streams during Valhalla and Odyssey, and it was crazy. There was way more excitement because Odyssey had something new every week. So we would always have something new to look forward to. Also in Valhalla, even though that was like a slower post-launch, there was still felt more going on in general. But hey, I do think if they launch like a New Game Plus mode, or maybe, I mean, Simon was already before launch talking about features to reset to basically reset some camps so you can fight the Samurai Daisho again. I would love that too. So, oh my god. I was stuck. I was climbing, I don't know what happened. But of course, nightmare mode gets you. That's pretty awesome that blade and then appeared on my back and now disappears. We did, by the way, get confirmation from a lovely... hey, Quick Dex, good to see you, by the way, as well. I need a camp castle reset. Yeah, that would be awesome. Like something to... Yeah. I think it was Ipsarp who in the Discord, hope I remember that correctly, was asking, was Skata already? Dude, that's the fastest weekly you ever did. I think I'm also just gonna quickly fly. That was not the right way. Skata always joins after doing the weekly on his channel himself. Okay, let's do the actual build that I'm using. And then we drop another one. Boom! It's smoke bomb town out here. Okay, we got this. Great. Another one. Yeah, at least it's easy to do the missions this week. I get why people want New Game Plus, but I feel like there's nothing I really want to experience again. While I'm doing my first playthrough of Odyssey. I mean, I think that's kind of a legit thing to say. I think it would just be nice if there's like new progression. They've really been hyping, maybe is a big word, but they have kind of been teasing the fact that, okay, with New Game Plus, we're gonna do a bit more than we usually do. And they usually do the bare minimum. Like, they usually just make the game playable again. Oh. They make the game playable again, after... Oh. It's sunny. Nice. Or actually, yeah, I think we're just in some sort of spring now. But... they actually... I lost my train of thought, but what I wanted to say basically is that having New Game Plus and them saying we will do more progression things, I think that would be exciting for me to maybe be able to change my character in new ways. Hopefully they add new gear items. So far all the free items we've seen so far are only trinkets, but come on. Add some new weapons or something for free as well, and not only in the healing shop. So that we have like something to work towards too. I'm kind of missing that, and I would love that. So if they, for example, in New Game Plus, I've said this for the longest time, but I think, am I hidden? No, he's just like chilling. If in New Game Plus, so this is the Hatotanto work. They add, for example, a that's the downside with Nightmare. I do have to focus a bit more. But if they, for example, add a third, like basically make all the New Game Plus items that you earn better. So there's a reason to go after all the items again, because they have, I don't know, an extra perk. So if they prefer 3 perks instead of 2. Or if they have new perks in New Game Plus that you can only get in New Game Plus. We've seen in the Sony games have been doing New Game Plus really, really well. It was like vulnerable for a very long time. You got like completely new armor sets in New Game Plus, or all the items were way, way better. So basically going after all the different items again was worth it. You could get like a completely new playstyle out of that. So that's what I kind of hope. It also makes me able to finally complete all the content in the game, like the arena, have all those skills unlocked. Because right now I'm saving them, because I wanna be able to show you the arena with like a cool build or with like a new helix pack or something like that, because those are the only like kind of boss enemies that you can easily spawn. But if I am able to do New Game Plus and have all of them appear again, I think that would be exciting. So it at least gives us something to do again, or put your time into. Maybe they add a new weapon, and then you have actual content you can actually use that item on. That's why I do think a new game plus, even though maybe replaying the story is not as exciting as in the previous games, I do kind of agree with that. And I'm really curious if they're gonna make Yasuke. What do you guys think? Make Yasuke available later on again, or will he be available from the start? Obviously, you would not be able to do the main story missions. With that, I do zero, like the regular attacks do very little damage, so you have to go for that vulnerable. I'm on the 3rd Mirage run. I'm harvesting XP to unlock my final skills. What if they add new skills? Like, we know they will add new skills with the DLC. But yeah, basically, I do think having a new game plus or some sort of repeatable thing, just that you always have something, even though it's old content, something to do, I think would be exciting. Update might be delayed to July as it's not added to the servers. I think so too. I think legacy outfits will be added in the upcoming Anime Sub project. That's a very good point. They've also been teasing that, legacy outfits, it's not planned, but of course, every Assassin's Creed game has them, so. Did Odyssey though? Yeah, Odyssey of course had them in the end too, but it took some time. And with Odyssey it was kind of cool. They added actual perks onto the legacy outfits because they had of course transmog. So that was way more exciting than.
If I'm seen, I'll have to fight my way out.
Than what we saw with Valhalla, where they were just like a chess piece. Oh yeah, we're Beyblading. Let's Beyblade against this guy. So now he's dazed, thanks to the Beyblade build. And now he's poisoned thanks to the Beyblade build. And now he just cannot do anything thanks to the Beyblade build. And now he's dazed thanks to the Beyblade build. And now he's bleeding thanks to that. Yeah! Beyblade. Okay. That was nice. Okay, we were not as fast as Skada, but we are doing the missions quite fast, which is nice. It wasn't even an ending, we're just waiting to see the ending in the DLC. I think their idea, like even before the release, and I've said this before, even before we knew Red was called Shadows, like 2 years ago, or 3 years ago now, because it was of course the Assassin's Creed Showcase in 2022. They said that they wanted to continue the story with DLCs. But I think there's a difference between continuing the story with DLCs and having an actual ending locked in a DLC. Because right now, the game just did not have a satisfying ending. Especially for Naoe's personal journey, of course. Which we are seemingly going to see in the DLC. But to be fair, like, I'm of two minds. Because I'm also excited that the DLC will actually have meaningful story content. Because that was of course the case in Valhalla, where because you could play it in any order you wanted, you could play it very early in the game or very late. They could not have any meaningful, impactful moments for Eivor in the DLC. But now, because it takes place after the ending, finally you let me Beyblade you. That took you long enough. Okay, so first make it vulnerable and then you can Beyblade them. Okay, where is the enemy? Down here. DLC should be a separate story that adds to the overall. Yeah, I think they should have done, maybe give us a satisfying ending in Shadows and then tease like a sort of after credits scene where it's like, okay, whoa, there's more. Oh, that's sick. And then do that in DLC, not basically have the real ending. Although you could argue that there was kind of an ending for the Yasuke family, like. Who do we need to kill? Okay, we need to kill that guy. That was a very, very well done. I don't want to use my sickle though. I really wish we get like a setting where the weapon would not automatically change if you use it for assassination. Yes, we're Beyblading him. Okay. Oh my god. Spinning around. Do you want to spin around too? It would be nice if I like get health back from doing the spin as well. That's maybe too much to ask. Poisoned and dazed, and also building up bleed. So we do it like this first, and then we can just spin around all day. The way they executed this just sucks. We need a good payoff after going through that filler content, killing the And the like, if the DLC was like 2 months later, then okay. But now, feels like I almost have to watch a video again, kind of recapping the story of Shadows, being like, oh yeah, this will happen, this will happen. Okay, and now I'm ready for the DLC. But that's why New Game Plus might actually be nice. If we have enough time to complete it before the DLC drops. But I want New Game Plus for those who want it. I also want the first Shadow Progress Pass to unlock, or whatever it's called. Yeah, the Enemies project. I agree. And I think, Severus, you saying that legacy outfits will be part of that? That's awesome. I think that's a good call. Although I hope new I don't know, I think the lack of like actual free weapons and gear through any of the new content they added, but having those amazing critical role items and stuff in the Helix shop, it's not great. Because everyone watching here, you're like, what is going on? Well, actually, there is more. And I'm just gonna scroll down a bit on your page, Severus, because a new Helix pet got leaked. And correct me if I'm wrong, but it also feels like the excitement for these packs is just non-existent. I remember for Odyssey and for Valhalla, it was like, what the heck are they adding now? And even though they look great, so this is a new one. Even though they look awesome, it just, yeah. And I think it's really because there's nothing to use these items on. There's no DLC plan. You're not like, oh, I'm gonna use this for the new 10-hour DLC or something. But yeah, this seems to be the new pack they're gonna do. Hey Melissa, good to see you. Option to keep the camera closer, we need that. Well, they did make the camera go further, further away from you with the mount update, or with the recent update. There might be one more mastery rank, like 9 in New Game Plus, and the level cap should be increased. Oh yeah, the level cap is gonna be increased 100% with New Game Plus. Also, it's just too tedious to grind the Animus points. I don't mind it that much, because I think the Animus missions are kind of cool. Like, remember Valhalla was way worse. I'm like mostly looking at what they already did before, and I do think the Animus anomalies are the most fun. Even though it's still not perfect, but it's way better than Valhalla. Valhalla was really bad, and it was broken very often. Very often people could only get 1 mission instead of 3. And yeah, then you would just miss out on the orichalcum. What was it called again? Damn. Yeah, you had the orichalcum, and you had the people will help me in the chat. Also, these items are harder to get because we get less animus points in comparison to Odyssey and Valhalla. I agree, but on the other hand, you only need to. I personally think that it's easier to get items in Shadows than in Valhalla. But correct me if I'm wrong. Obviously, for me, it's always been a bit different because I also buy the Helix packs often to show you them immediately because they don't appear immediately in the exchange. So I do not have to buy all the items. As you can see, I only have 1,000 keys. I bought a ton of stuff through the exchange. I don't think you can like see what you bought through the exchange versus what you bought with real money, but it does feel, because there are no set bonuses. And because there are only 2 gear items, that it's way easier to get a full gear set. It's way easy. If you get like a weapon, can just be good on its own. Transmog is in the game at launch, so you can immediately use the look. Mounts, look, all the items, almost, like, I think all the launch Helix items have appeared at least once. In Valhalla, I think it took sometimes like a year for a full set to fully appear. And then you had to be there on that day, because there was a daily selection with these items too. You had to have all the currency ready. So I really think that this system, even though the amount of currency we can earn, they're way more restrictive in regards to that. Because of the look, I thought when they started with this that the projects would come out way quicker. That, okay, they calculated we have 2 projects. If the people who are the most hardcore, if they do the anomalies every week, they will finish it in 2 months. So we need to have a new project on month 3. So yeah, yeah. I mean, it's way more satisfying to unlock new rewards in here than every week getting the 400 keys from doing 1 cycle of missions. So, but still, in 3 weeks, you can get a new weapon. Yeah, it is not as good as it was. But, no, I really think this system has been better. But there are just more problems with the post-launch overall, where it just feels a bit less exciting, and maybe you care a bit less about it all too. I think that's also a big part of it. I think there are 2 reasons for that. One, and yeah, we are beating a dead horse at this point, but the overall community engagement in terms of like we're all playing this game at the same time and we're having a good time, that feeling is kind of gone because they don't have the weekly things. They have a big content update drop, and as I've said when they announced the roadmap trailer, I said it's gonna be you're logging in for 1 day and then you're out, and then you wait again for 4 weeks, and then you log in 1 day, you're out, you wait again for 4 weeks. And that is fine for if that is what they wanted to do, but in the previous games we saw that they actually wanted to keep us... Look, in the previous games, and we actually had a call this week, or today, with Joyce and Dennis as well, where we kind of like talked about, okay, what happened in the previous Assassin's Creed games, would you want to make shorts about that, right? Like post-launch shorts. And Dennis was like, yeah, the Basim sword got added. Remember that? And that was like a random thing on in a random week. They were like, yo, we have a new Ubisoft Connect community challenge. Everyone log on this week right now, get your kills in, and bam, the item would unlock. Oh, a new legacy outfit out of nowhere appeared. There was way more, whoa, what's happening now? Oh, it's happening now. Maybe some people were like, oh, it's FOMO, I need to be engaged. On the other hand, you were constantly like thinking, okay, maybe something can happen in the game. was fun for us to cover as well because something actually happened. Now it's like, okay, we have 2 videos to make. When the update comes out, the update video, we do a live stream, and then we're like, okay, what other games are out there? And that's fine too, but I'm used to making way more videos on this game. Unibear, Ezio outfit, yeah, Skata, you're making great points there. Can you show the exchange shop, please? I just got here. I think I just did it, but I can like show it here again. I think because of the Valhalla fatigue backlash, they did not plan as much post-launch content. They listened to the haters instead of the people who actually play. Quick decks, I don't know that if that's true. Because what actually, when Assassin's Creed Red was announced, they were basically saying, yo, we take all the learnings from Odyssey and Valhalla. This is going to be an even bigger post-launch. We're going to support it for even longer. Etc, etc. So we're gonna look at it more like an MMO. That's what they said. I can like grab the quotes. Assassin's Creed Red MMO. And so what I think is happening here is that they actually did not take any of the learnings from all the previous games. It feels like right now with this post-launch, there is no knowledge exchanged at all from Origins of Odyssey or Valhalla. Nothing. They were just like, okay, people just play the game. We're gonna have amazing content drops because they, on paper, the drops that they had were great. They had a new ally, they had a new mission, they had a crossover event. One big thing they were not thinking about is that Odyssey had a lot of built-in repeatable stuff to already do. Valhalla added new activities that you could actually spend some time with. And in Shadows they focused more on higher quality. I mean, more dialogue, more cinematics, but content that was shorter. And I do think that that works in a game where there is a lot of replayable stuff, but not in Shadows because there's nothing to do for the hardcore people like us that wanna, spend more time in this world if possible, but that's not possible. So then the content is, there's like a disconnect. And that's why I do hope that if they, because they now know that they are adding stuff like that. But we also talked about the Cassandra crossover for Valhalla. That was actually sick. A new island, new weapons. That they added quite a lot of awesome stuff. And I think that is what Shadows need. It needs a bigger thing that you can actually log into for multiple days in a week, or maybe multiple weeks. And it doesn't have to be like 10 hours a day, but just a few hours a night. And yeah, you're progressing something. Instead of it being one mission that after half an hour you're like, okay, that was cool, I'm gone. Ubisoft takes too many bad suggestions from the wrong people. Yeah, but it's hard. These games are like always. Assassin's Creed games are always beloved by so many different people, and they've been listening a lot to the old school Assassin's Creed people. They were like, yo, these RPGs, they're not Assassin's Creed anymore. So yeah, they added more stuff like that, which I think is great. Like having Naue a more traditional character and Yasuke a more RPG-like character. That is great. But I do think they did not know, or like did not look at why Odyssey is so beloved. And that is because of the side content, the meaningful stories and adventures you can have in that world that Shadows kind of lacks. Apart from the ally missions, those are the closest, but there are like a handful of those. And the RPG side of it. Valhalla went way too far back into not being an RPG, like being afraid to be called an RPG. And Shadows cannot choose. They want to be somewhere in the middle, but that doesn't work. Because then you get something like this where, yeah, I do think Ubisoft wants this to be a successful post-launch. And they are spending a ton of resources on that. But I think... But yeah, the core, the groundwork is missing for this to be successful. And yeah, they should not be afraid to add some and maybe it is like a dirty word, but some live service like elements, like the community challenges, like weird events that pop up in the world where like, what the heck, if they have that like that animus and entity that we're like fighting, what if it is a huge Japanese mythical monster that suddenly appeared? They did not announce it. It's like boom, it's here. Like you need cool stuff like that, and not. It's kind of by the books. It's like you already see their plan. That day we have an update. 5 weeks later, that day we have the update. But you have to have some spice. You have to have some cool things, some stories that we want to experience in the game. What's your favorite mount? Hazard is asking. That's actually a good question. I don't think I have like a... I don't think I have a favorite mount in the game yet. I think my favorite mount is actually... if we go to Yasuke. And then it's one of the horses with like a cool armor that he has. But yeah, I get the Kitsune mount. I get that. That's totally a cool mount. But I think my favorite mount is this one. When I saw this in the shop, I was like, what the heck? This looks awesome. Yeah, I think this is my favorite. Okay. Odyssey had the best post-launch content, yeah, and that's why with them saying before launch, yo, it's gonna be, we're gonna support it for a long time, blah, 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 it's the same studio. I was like, okay, let's go, we're in for a treat. And then when they were very silent, and then when they finally announced the post-launch roadmap, I was like, ooh, something is wrong here. I do hear you, but I feel like I always had things to do in Valhalla, but now all I have to do is weeklies, which is what, 30, 40 minutes max, maybe an hour. Yeah, quick Dex, you're right. Yeah, the Valhalla content was peak. I mean, I think this is always interesting. We've of course been playing these games for years now. And I remember having the river raids for the first time, then the festivals. People were really like harsh on those two. Because it was also not amazing. But they improved. Like the river raids 2, the river raids 3, they were much better than the first iteration. The first festival wasn't that great. Second one, third one was better. Tombs of the Fallen was great. Second drop was even better. Mastery Challenge is the same. You saw kind of what they were working towards, but you saw the philosophy. It was like, there's already so much content in Valhalla, but let's add a completely new way to experience the game. With those Mastery Challenges, with the Tombs of the Fallen that were more puzzle-like. And I think Shadows could really benefit from that too, because they already don't really have a lot of activities, because a lot of the knowledge activities are nonsense. They were fun, maybe the first time you saw them, maybe the second time, and they work because they are very far apart. So if you do one region and then move on to the next, you will not encounter many of the like the meditation for Nawe or something like that after each other. So then it's kind of fine. But it's not like I'm not looking forward to doing all those things that I still need to do to get to Mastery Rank 8. But and Valhalla had more of that. They had the mysteries. They had the again, I think the animals missing in Shadows, yeah, makes sense for the time period. But yeah, you are missing some legendary animals or like some diversified, like a different type of combat experience that they also don't have because they don't have mythical content that Valhalla did have, because you could go to Asgard and Jotunheim, which was kind of crazy actually if you think about it, that they added that to the game as well. Just in, Netflix greenlights new TV series based on Assassin's Creed. Well, great. I think we've heard about that like countless of times. Like Netflix. Oh, Ubisoft actually posted about it. Yeah, let's read the article, shall we? Really curious if they're what it will be. We're excited to share an update on the live-action Assassin's Creed series. Okay, it's an update. They greenlit the show now. Did they not announce this during the showcase in 2022? Get a closer look. Okay. They officially greenlit the live-action Assassin's Creed series with Emmy nominees Roberto Patino and David Weiner. DMC Westworld, Sons of Anarchy. Okay. Set as creators and showrunners, executive producers. The Assassin's Creed live-action series is a high-octane thriller centered on the secret war between two shadowy factions. One set on determined mankind's future through control and manipulation, the other fighting to preserve free will. The series will follow characters across pivotal historical events as they battle to shape humanity's destiny. We're so excited to work alongside Roberto, David, and our Netflix partners to bring this beloved franchise to the series. We look forward to delivering an experience that speaks to the heart of what fans love about Assassin's Creed, while introducing its unforgettable worlds and timelines and timeless themes to a new audience worldwide. We've been a fan of Assassin's Creed since 2007. Every day we work on the show, we come away excited, blah, 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 blah. Beneath the scope and spectacle, the parkour and the thrills is a baseline for the most essential kind of human story about people searching for purpose, struggling with questions of identity and destiny and fate. It is about power and violence and sex and greed and vengeance. But more than anything, this is a show about the value of human connection across cultures, across time, and it's about what we stand to lose as a species when those connections break. We got an amazing team behind us with the folks at Ubisoft and our champions at Netflix. We're committed to creating something undeniable for fans all over the planet. When we first announced our partnership with Ubisoft in 2020, again, why is it taking so long? But hey, we're getting closer at least. We set on an ambitious goal to bring the rich, expansive world of Assassin's Creed to life in bold new ways. Now, after years of dedicated collaboration, it's inspired us to see how far the vision has come. Guided by the deft hands of Roberto Patino and David Weiner, I hope I pronounced it right, the team has carefully crafted an epic adventure that both honors the legacy of Assassin's Creed franchises and invites longtime fans and newcomers alike to experience the thrills of the Brotherhood as never before. In 2020 they entered an agreement to develop content based on the globally popular Assassin's Creed franchise. This live-action adaptation is the first series to be developed. Okay, there are more. In addition, Weiner and Patino, the show is executive produced by Gerald Gumont, or I think probably the son of Eve. Margaret, Austin, and Ubisoft Film. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I think the biggest takeaway from this is that it will have multiple time periods. Where did they say that? But yeah, overall, it's a lot of like fluff. But I do think they said like multiple timelines, right? But yeah, I do think they are probably going to visit, and I think that's pretty cool that they are probably jumping around to settings that we see in the game, and then we maybe see the main characters from the games in one episode. So one episode will be, they're going to Greece and Cassandra's there or something like that. Would be kind of cool. But yeah, it's a lot of stuff about basically nothing. But hey, we are learning more. It will be a while though before we see it. Probably. You say Wiener. Did I say it wrong? Ubisoft just posted about we talked on that. I hope the show will not tank like The Witcher. I mean, The Witcher did pretty well actually, if you think about it. It just like went on way too long and it did not really move it forward. I thought the first season was pretty good and then it nosedive. No, I'm just messing with you. Yeah. Will it be canon to the games? We don't know. Probably its own story. Yeah, I think it's gonna be its own story where they again visit the settings from some games, and then then they of course have a lot of different opportunities. I would not be surprised if it's kind of like Assassin's Creed Nexus. I'm not sure if anyone played that here, but that's the VR game on Oculus where you also jump around to Greece, to America, Assassin's Creed 3, and to Ezio in Italy. So yeah, maybe I think they're probably going to do that too, but then with different characters so that we see one character just jumping around. Probably new characters. We will see, but if it does well, that could be big for the Assassin's Creed series. Like I do think not focusing on one setting makes a lot of sense, because then people who come or watch the series and are like, whoa, this is awesome, they can choose where to start themselves. They don't have to just go like that. That is, I think, what the Fallout series did well too. It was like, wow, Fallout, that's an awesome universe. I can like start playing any of the games. It doesn't matter because it's just Fallout, right? I wanna live in that world. So I do think if the Assassin's Creed series is successful, people will be like, oh, I want to play an Assassin's Creed game. Oh, Shadows. Oh, Hexe is just out. I'm gonna check that. Or Shadows got a new update. Hey, I like Japan. Or I'm gonna do the Black Flag remake, so they jump around. And that could be interesting. But yeah, kind of a detour here during the weekly reset stream. But we kind of have to make our own content, right? So again, the update has not been added to the database yet, which means it's likely not coming next week. Which means we're for the first time looking at it either a 5-week period or a 6-week launch period. Next week, I will be here with another weekly reset stream. Then we will likely have a lot of news. I also want to do one more video before the next update. So hopefully we hear about it then as well. Yeah, that's kind of it for me today. Thanks as always for watching. And hopefully we have some exciting stuff happening in Shadows soon, because it kind of feels like it's time. And I'm ready for new things. I do think I'm going to clear everything now, because I don't think there's anything else that I need to... I'm going to keep the arena characters, but I'm going to do like all the... I still need some legendary chests. I still need to do some targets. I think I'm going to just do everything now. Have the world be cleared so that when New Game Plus eventually drops, I can leave this safe behind without feeling like, oh, I'm missing out. So yeah, that is... Will the VR game come to PSVR 2? Probably not, because Oculus funded it, similar to the Batman game and the Deadpool game. So seems like they every year want to do one licensed game to promote Oculus. And yeah, maybe, never say never, but I don't think it will come to PSVR 2. J Ultimate, save your keys, yes. Hey Jordan, are you gonna play Wuchang Fallen Feathers? Well, we will have a tips video up next week about the game, so look forward to that. Thanks everyone for watching as always. Scott, I appreciate you as always for doing the raid. Brock, thanks for being a moderator as always. And yeah, have a great rest of the week. We will speak to each other.